Happy New Year, chosen family. Yeah, y'all give our young people a hand. Chosen to praise. I see you, young king. Y'all killing the game. Man, I'm so proud of these young people. Man, I told somebody on the phone earlier this week, I know chosen is only 5, but being a leader means you got to think ahead. And I was talking to a friend and I said, I'm already looking for the next pastor of chosen. But I don't want to have to do a search. I don't want to have to go on Monster or Indeed or hire an agency. The next pastor for chosen is already here. That's why we named our young adult ministry Chosen 2.0, and their tagline is "We Got Next." Because any church that isn't getting young people is a church that's dying. And so if you come hang with Chosen, if you kick it with us, family, you got to know young people are our priority. Jesus says, suffer the little children to come unto me. And so that's what that Purpose Center is about. That's why we bought that building downtown, so we could minister to young people. That's what Men in Training is about. That's why we have mentor programs in Josie, mentor programs in Murphy Middle. I believe that if we pour into young people and we teach them purpose, God will supply all our needs according to his riches and glory. And that's what chosen is about. That's what living the lifestyle is about. Making sure as adults we're living a lifestyle that our children can mimic. Y'all heard me say it 1,000,000 times, parents. If we punish our children for habits that they learn from us, that's not discipline, that's abuse. So I'm just excited about what God is doing. Excited to have a church that loves God and loves purpose. I'm excited to have people like yourself who sacrifice so much. Y'all give so much. Your time, your money, your gifts. Give yourself a hand, y'all. Give yourself a hand. I'm serious. This isn't empty preaching rhetoric. We wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for your sacrifice. I was looking over this last year, prepping and planning for 2023, and I said, man, chosen bad. So thank y'all for being disciplined and dedicating your gifts to God, because we are transforming lives, family. I want to invite all the men to our first meeting of 2023, our Made Men group. I challenged y'all last month and y'all came out in droves, and I know Monday's a holiday, but what better way to start the new year than with community and men? Y'all know we are reading a book called Wild at Heart. We're going to feed you for free. It starts at 6:30 right behind our worship auditorium. Meet us here at 6:30. We had 40 men come out last month. Y'all get these men a... Yeah, Classy. We coming for you, Classy. Yeah, do me a favor. Let's stand on the ladies real quick. If you were at that meeting, I know we got a lot of men traveling, and everybody's not here. But if you were here, I want you to stand up. If you were at our men's meeting, I want you to stand up. Yeah, I want you to stand up. Yeah. Let's stand on the ladies real quick. Man, let's show them our mantra, man. Y'all ready? Say I'm ready. Power, nothing without a purpose. Purpose, nothing without passion. Passion, nothing without a plan. The plan is to become a person with passion, purpose, and power. A man. Yeah, y'all don't got no mantra, do y'all? Yeah. All they got is that little aggravating noise they make, y'all. Y'all give our men a hand. Yeah. We taking over the city this year. Yeah. Nah. We coming for the city this year. Statistics show that if you can get a man connected with God, that his family follows 90% of the time. That's called God's design. Women, we love you, but there's a special calling that a man has. Every organization has to have point leadership. Every company has to have a CEO. Every church has to have a pastor. Well, the CEO of the home is the man. But man, we can't beat our chest, because I told you before, some of these women are husbands. Because the husband is the one that prays. The husband is the one that helps provide. The husband is the one that casts the vision. And so it's not just about the title, it's about your action. And if you let your women do all the leading, if you let your wife do all the providing, if your wife is the one dragging the family to the church, she the husband. But that ain't what we talking about this Saturday, y'all. We can talk about it though, because we taking the city and we need our men on point. So I want all the men underneath the sound of my voice, online, Instagram, Facebook, wherever you're listening from, YouTube, I want you here on Monday, and we're going to continue learning about what purpose looks like as men, and this, reading our book, Wild at Heart, and we're going to transform our lives and the lives of our family. Here it is. Everybody say dream catching. Dream catching. There was an album out by an artist that goes by the name Meek Mills, and the name of his album was Dream Chasing. And though I understood the point he was trying to make and its semantics, I want to take it a step further, because I don't believe we dream chase. I believe we dream catch. To say dream chase gives the idea that our dreams are running from us. To say dream chase makes it seem like I'm going to be on a perpetual cycle of trying to find purpose but never living in it. And though dream chasing sounds good, it's not theologically correct, because we don't dream chase. All young people, eyes on me. We dream catch. Because God has a purpose and a plan for your life. And your purpose is already prepared. That's why we don't have to chase it. It's already there. It's already prepared. All we have to do is step into it. That's why I want to discuss at the beginning of our conversation this morning the problem with the dream. The problem with the dream is that you think you have to produce it. And anytime you put the weight of God on a human, they'll crumble. That's why many of you all, even as I speak, are stressed. You're doubting your purpose. Things aren't going the way that you plan, and you're wondering, do I have what it takes? You're wondering, can I actually be successful? You graduated from high school, you graduated from college, you spent time and money, but you don't see yourself working in your gifts. You don't see yourself producing in your calling, and you're wondering, will I ever be what I think I'm called and created to be? And part of the problem is you think you are called to produce it. That's why we don't dream chase, we dream catch, because God has already produced it. It's not on us to produce, it's on us to be prepared. Everybody say dream catch. This is why Hebrews 11:6 says that without faith, it's impossible to please God. Because to please God, we must first believe that he exists and that he is a rewarder of those who diligently seek him. The writer of Hebrews reminds us that faith is the key component to dream catching. Because it's impossible to catch the dream without faith. Impossible means without power, meaning Yannik doesn't have the power to achieve purpose without faith. Faith is the power. Because God won't allow you to achieve the dream detached from him. Because if you achieve the dream detached from him, you get the credit and the glory when you live it in the dream. And God didn't call us to get credit and glory. That's why he says all praise and glory goes to. So don't think that you can accomplish the dream detached from God, because faith is the power. I want you in school, but don't get it twisted. Education and intellect ain't the power. Don't get it twisted. I want you getting the bag, but the bag and your income isn't the power. The power is in your faith, because whatever God is calling you to do is bigger than your resource. Whatever God is calling you to do is greater than your intellect. Whatever God is calling you to do is bigger than your past. Whatever God is calling you to do is going to demand a connection with faith. That's why he said, I'm preparing it, but you got to walk in it. If you think you're going to do it, you're going to live your life in fear of failure. I used to wake up with a pressure that I can't explain. And I realized that I was trying to produce something that wasn't in my power. And God said, Yannik, you need to seek first the kingdom and its righteousness, and everything you need will be added unto you. So I started to put the same effort that I was putting into the work into God, and it was amazing how I just started to walk into stuff. Can anybody testify that when I submitted to God, it was like success just showed up? The problem with catching the dream is you think you are called to produce it. You can't produce what God has called you to produce, because he's calling you to produce it so when you are living in purpose, he can get the glory. That takes us to the preparation for the dream. I love Ephesians 2:10. It says, we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works that God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them. Let me try this side. Read this with me on 3. 1, 2, 3. For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus, which God prepared beforehand that we should walk in them. That's why I said, you got to change your perspective. Because you're not called to produce it. it said God prepared beforehand. Y'all a tough crowd on New Year's Eve. Danny, God created the purpose before he created you. That's why you don't have to trip whether or not you have what it takes. That's why you don't have to be afraid of whether or not you can do it. That's why you don't have to be intimidated by what God has called you to. Why? Because the same one that prepared the purpose is the same one that prepared you. He prepared the purpose, then went back and prepared you. He went and saw what you needed to do and said, I'm going to give her the vision. He saw what you needed to create. He said, I'm going to give her the income. He saw what you needed to build. He said, I'm going to give him the tools. Is there anybody glad tonight that I don't got to stress, I don't have to panic, I don't have to worry? The same one that prepared the purpose is the same one preparing me. He prepared it and then got Yannik ready. Somebody from Chosen 2.0, Nate, came up to me after reading my book and said, this is crazy. She said, after reading everything that you went through, it seems like you just walking in what God has called you to. She said, I understand Chosen so much more now. In other words, what she was saying was Ephesians 2:10. What she was saying was, Yannik, God already had Chosen planned, and then he came back and prepared you. That's why you don't got to panic when stress hits you. That's why you don't quit when you're in the middle of pain, because the pain is just preparation. The pain is just preparing you. The pain is just getting you ready for purpose. He saw the purpose, and then he said, I got to let them go through something. He saw the purpose, and he said, I got to teach them a little bit of character. He saw the purpose and said, they're going to need to learn a little bit of integrity. It's not that God has put you in pain to punish you all the time. He puts you in pain to prepare you for what he's called you to. He prepared it and came back and prepared you. That's why you can stop disqualifying yourself because of your past. Your past was preparation. You may not have the right last name. You may not be from the right neighborhood. You may have made a few mistakes, but guess what? Your mistakes were factored in. You can't catch someone omniscient, all-knowing, omnipotent, all-powerful off guard. How you gonna catch someone omnipresent who's sitting in the future, sitting in the present, sitting in the past? He's not in time, he's sitting outside of time. How can you catch someone omnipresent, everywhere at once, omniscient, all-knowing, omnipotent, all-powerful, off guard? God ain't off guard when you mess up. God ain't off guard because of your past. God ain't off guard because your granny died. You can... He prepared it, then prepared. That's why this 2023, I want you walking around with your head held high. That's why in 2023, I want you to fix how you strut. I want you to say, yeah, go ahead. But I want you to put your shoulders back a little bit, like you got one of them girdles these girls be walking around. I want you to have some correct posture, because you know what you about to walk into. You need to make some noise if you walking into 2023 with a new strut. Yeah, when you walking into 2023 with a little bit more power, you're walking into 2023 with a little bit more confidence. Why? Because I'm strutting in the I'm walking like I'm on a runway in 2023. Why? Because I'm walking in purpose. I'm getting stuff done. I'm transforming lives. I'm walking in my God's gift for me. You need to get rid of that Eeyore spirit. That spirit like ain't nothing gonna work out. You know Eeyore with Winnie the Pooh. No matter how bright the day is, he talking about what's gonna happen. It's a beautiful day. He talking about it's just gonna rain. I don't need Eeyores in my life. I need somebody who can encourage me. Somebody who can give me the confidence I need. Somebody that'll remind me he didn't bring me here to leave me here. Put your shoulders back some. Lift your head up. Get up out the bed. Get in your purpose. Why walk into a new year with some old? Why walk into a new year with an old mindset? Why walk into a new year in an old messed up relationship? Why walk into a new year with old debt? Why walk into a new... I'm walking into the new year with some new stuff. I'm walking into the new year with some new purpose. I'm walking into the new year with a new plan. I'm walking into the new year with some new self-esteem. Because it's already prepared. It's in my account already. I just don't know what bank it's at. And I'm your friend. Y'all take a seat. I'm not done yet. I promise I'll get you out of here by 7:30 so you can catch the Bulldog game. Got you. I'm gonna get you back up in a minute. Walk with me. Here it is. Here's the hard part. You can't catch the dream being created in you. Put the text up for me again, Mama Hatcher, please. For we are his workmanship, created in. For we are his workmanship. You not your own work. You can't catch the dream holding on to who you were. You can't catch the dream with that old negative mindset. You can't catch the dream holding on to that old fear. You can't catch the dream hanging on to those old perverted habits. You can't catch the dream with that same addiction. You can't to catch the dream. You got to be created in something new. That's why some of us are struggling with, we actually feel like we dream chasing versus dream catching. Why? Because we want to live in the dream and not make any changes. You're going to have the same messed up marriage if you don't change. Getting a new spouse won't change this problem if you were it. This your fifth one. Guess who the common denominator? She ain't cook enough. The other one didn't have enough vision. The other one used to go to sleep on it and you wanted to snuggle. Hey, it ain't just her. Snuggle. It's kids. Chosen kids shut down tonight. So PG. What about what you need to fix? What about what you can do better? How can you show more love? How can you step out your comfort zone? How can you be less selfish? How can you be less self-centered? He says, I'm preparing you for the purpose that was already prepared. I'm working on you. That's why it says we are his workmanship. Why? Because he's working on you. That's a reminder for some of you all that what you in is God working on you. That stress that you're dealing with could be God's hammer getting you into shape. That thing that you wish would end, it could be God with his nail trying to make sure that you are structured for the success that he's trying to fit you in. He's working on you. So you may be aggravated, agitated, and frustrated, but I'm just trying to shape you for the success. You may have to lose something in this season that will help you level up in the next. I may have to hurt you in this season so I can help you in the next. I'm not trying to punish you, I'm just preparing. That's the preparation for the dream. But I want to talk to you about the people in the dream. We talked about the problem with the dream. The problem with the dream is you think you have to produce it and it's already prepared. We talked about the preparation for the dream. We're Christ's workmanship. But what about the people in the dream? I shout out some texts to my young adults and I said, what's your problem? What's going on? How can I help you in 2023? They said, Yannik, it's the peer pressure. It's my circle. It's my surrounding. And here's the thing. People will push you off of God's path because they are not the one that prepared the dream. They don't understand why you do what you do. They don't understand why you're committed to purity and they prefer to be promiscuous. They don't understand why you're trying to change some of your negative habits and get into something more healthy. Why? Because as I told you a couple weeks ago, when God called you to purpose, it wasn't a three-way call. They were not there. Therefore, you don't need their permission. You are called to walk in purpose, not please everyone that's around you. And as my homeboy said, everybody that's in your circle ain't necessarily in your corner. Jeremiah 29:11 says, if I know the plans that I have for you, they are plans for good and not for disaster, to bring you future and a hope. All eyes on me. God has a plan for you. It is going to be good. It's going to give you future and a hope. And when Jeremiah wrote this letter, he was writing it to a people who were going to be in bondage for 70 more years. But he gave them a promise, even though they were in some pain. He said, don't you lose hope. Don't you start listening to your situation more than you're listening to my spirit. Yeah, you're in bondage, but I got a blessing for you. That was a word for somebody that came out just for that this morning. You feel like you're in bondage, but guess what? God has got a blessing for you. He said, I've got a plan for you. It is not for disaster. It's not so that it can end. It's not so that you can lose it. It's not that for you to be in depression. He said it's to give you future and a hope. And so I'm not going to lose my mind in the middle of this thing, because God said he's got a blessing even in the midst of my burdens. He said, you got to have the right people to help you walk out the plan. And it says, God knows the plan. So I can't listen to anybody that doesn't know God. If God knows the plan, why I'm checking with you and you don't know God? If God knows the plan, why I need your permission for who I marry if you don't know God? If God knows the plan, why I need you to pat me on the back when I play in the church if you don't know God? God knows the plan, so for you to know the plan, you got to know God. All young people, all eyes on me. Stop running to your friends that don't know God to figure out the plan. That's That's why you have the lab. That's why you got Chosen Generation. That's why you have Chosen 2.0. Why? Because you are connected with people that know God, and when people know God, they can speak to your plan. Let me sit down. These Timbs heavy. Fresh though, yes. It's mandatory. Listen. If you 13, I'm sorry, YouTube. I don't know if y'all can see me. I just want to get on the same level with my young people, because it's a serious question. If you 13, why are you asking another 13-year-old what you should do? I mean, I know that's not revelatory, but if you 20 and your friend been in 5 different relationships in just as many months, why you need their advice on who you date? And that girl, he ain't cute enough. Well, he doesn't lay on the couch, and he ain't addicted to drugs, and he loves God. Don't, because cute wear out after a while. There ain't nobody that cute when they ain't making no money, and they have no purpose, and they have no plan. So you keep chasing outward things and let me get some inward stuff. Let me get back on stage because they don't want to hear it. Watch this. Let's. Jesus, as he was getting closer to his purpose and plan, Matthew 24, this is critical. Matthew writes in his book, he says that Jesus was telling his disciples, I'm getting real close to my purpose. And I know it hurts to hear, but I was born to die. And he's sharing God's vision for his life with his homeboys. And Peter, the one who couldn't keep his foot out his mouth, the disciple who was the best leader but had the most issues, he said, no, you should never do that. Jesus is explaining to Peter, I'm about to die. Peter says to Jesus, you don't have to go to the cross. Jesus says something that you would probably think is rude. He says to his friend, get behind me, Satan. Look, it's right there. Jesus says, it's necessary for me to go to Jerusalem. I gotta go through many terrible things. I'm gonna be killed, but on the 3rd day, I'm gonna be raised from the dead. Isn't it amazing how when you share something, people focus on the negative? Peter said, forbid. This will never happen to you. Peter, what do you mean it'll never happen? All you're focused on is my suffering. All you're focused on is my sacrifice. What you should be focused on is my success. Don't tell me I shouldn't go through anything. Don't tell me I should stay in my comfort zone. Don't tell me what you think I want to hear. You know, you need to be pushing me towards my purpose. If it's pain, push me towards it. If it's a cross, encourage me to go through it. Help me to focus on the end, not the beginning. You tell me that I can't go through what God called me to? Because you negative? Watch this. Verse 23. Jesus turned to Peter, his homeboy, one he was closest to. Jesus had 12 disciples, but he had 3 of the inner circle that we call his best friends, Peter, James, and John. Peter was closer to Jesus than anybody. He turns to his homeboy and says, "Get away from me, Satan." I like another translation. He says, "Get behind me." He tells his friend that right now you operating like the enemy. Because if you, my friend, don't tell me not to do what God has called me to do, if you, my friend, help me keep myself pure, if you, my friend, help keep me away from drugs, if you, my friend, help encourage me even though my marriage is messed up, if you, my friend, tell me how I can make it through, but don't tell me to quit in the middle of it, if you, my friend, you need to be helping equip me to get to my purpose, not talking me out of it. And anytime somebody, no matter how close you are to them, begins to talk you out of your purpose, that's not God, that's Satan. Yannik, I've known him for 20 years. Get behind me. Satan. Yannik, that's my cousin in them. Get behind me, Satan. Because even your friend that ain't connected with God can talk like the enemy. So just because they're your friend doesn't mean you just open yourself up. Just because they're your friend doesn't mean you let your guard down. Jesus said, I ain't letting my guard down for anybody but God. If you ain't God or you don't have God in you, I'm not letting you speak into my life. He said, get behind me, Satan. There's some folk in 2023, family, you need to be telling, get behind me. There's some habits in 2023, you need to be saying, get behind me. There's some mindsets in 2023, you need to be saying, get behind me. I love the fact that Matthew says, get behind me, Satan, because an enemy that's behind you can't obstruct your blessing. An enemy that's behind you can't get in the way of what God has for you. But guess what? They can watch. Yeah, keep them just close enough to where they can't hinder me, but God, help them watch. Yeah, I love David. He says he'll prepare a table in the presence of my enemies. Yeah, don't take them out my life because I want to prove a point. Yeah, you just get them out my way, get them out my path, but keep them close enough to where they can see you working in my life. Keep them close enough to where they can see I knew what I was talking about. Keep them close enough where they can see me shining. Keep them. Don't take them out. Just get out my way. We don't have to talk every day, but you can follow me on Twitter. You can be my Facebook friend so you can see what God is doing, but don't think you're going to get in my way. Watch this, young people. This is key. This will change your life if you get this. Every friend in evil because they're used by Satan. Because you're thinking, Yannik, are you telling me I can't have friends? Absolutely not. And there are some people who can be in your circle. I'm just telling you, don't be ignorant and let anyone influence you. Because Peter wasn't evil. Why you say he wasn't evil when Jesus said, get behind me, Satan? Don't act like Satan can't use church folk. Don't act like you ain't cussed somebody out last night. Yeah, don't act like you ain't pushed somebody in the Christmas shopping line a week ago. Don't act. I see some of your Instagram. He wasn't evil, don't miss it. He was just immature. You got friends that are not evil just because they ain't where you are. You can hang with them. They're not evil. You just got to be careful about letting someone immature influence you. I'm around you because I'm going to be the influence. I'm around you because I'm going to impact you. I'm letting you in my circle and in my surroundings so I can help you level up. You can be in my circle, but just don't think you going to be the influence. You can be in my circle, just don't think you going to be the impact. You in my circle so I can help. He wasn't evil. Because in Matthew 16, when Jesus is testing the disciples and he says, who do people say that I am? They respond. Some say John the Baptist. Some say Jeremiah. Some say one of the prophets. And then he switches it because it doesn't matter who they say. It matters what you say. He says, who do you say that I am? And Peter steps up first and says, you are the Son of the living God. He knew who Jesus was. He had God working in his life, but he was just a babe. He was just immature. He didn't understand that pain leads to purpose. He didn't understand that cross meant leveling up to sit in peace and power and prosperity. He didn't understand the promotion that comes through pain, because immature people don't like sacrifice. They only like to be happy. So he says, Jesus, the cross ain't gonna make you happy temporarily, so you shouldn't have to go through it. Let me give you a hint on how you know somebody is immature. They can only see what's right in front of them. People who are immature don't see how 1 + 1 = 2. Somebody that's immature will tell you, you need to stay on that job because you get a dedicated paycheck, baby. Well, I don't want a dedicated paycheck. I want to live in purpose. God has given me vision. God has given me $1 billion idea. And you want me to stay and make $30,000 a year so I can be comfortable? That's immature. They can only see that you're going to be broke for a couple years. They can't see that you're going to be a multimillionaire, so they talk you out of the pain, and at the same time, they talking you out of the purpose because they're intertwined. An immature friend will say, bro, how you alone on Valentine's Day? Should you be booed up? And you say, nah, man, I ain't with that no more, man. I'm trying to treat ladies right. I'm done perverting young women, and I'm trying to be a real man now. And they say, how can you live your life like that? They are immature. Why? Because all they see is the pleasure that they're missing today, but don't understand the purpose that they'll be in marriage. They can't settle. They can't sacrifice. All they can do is settle because all they want to do is gratify their flesh. But mature people say, I'll crucify my flesh to live in God's future plan. I'll go through what I got to go through if it means living in a greater blessing. I'm willing to make the sacrifice. I'm willing to go through a little suffering. How you going to talk me out of being a real man? Immature. Because boys put panties over purpose. But real men put purpose over pleasure. Real men put purpose over relationship. Look, Adam was in the garden before he met Eve. Ladies, stop making that man quit his job to spend time with you. You better support him, because a real man ain't giving up the garden for no relationship. There should be somebody in each marital relationship that they're in love with more than you. And that's God. And that's why some of you women are struggling now. Because you wanted control. And you got it. That's so good. You wanted somebody who would let you boss them, and you got it. But now you want somebody to lead, but you've emasculated them, and now you're trying to turn a boy into a man, and it's hard, ain't it? You were immature. Here it is. It's the best part. Jesus looks and said, and this is the key for 2023. He said, you don't have the things of God in mind. You are seeing things merely from a human point of view. Jesus says, get behind me, Satan. Peter, you're giving me advice based on human things, not holy. If we are going to dream catch, the people in our dream have to be able to hear from God. He says, you are looking at things merely from a human point of view. Anybody that influences you, make sure you know what perspective they're coming from. Because if they're coming at you from a human point of view instead of holy, you're going to end up dropping the dream. Because you can't achieve the future that God has for you from a place of your flesh. The Bible says that we should pray, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. That means our goal is to have the heavenly things manifest themselves in an earthly way. I get stuff from heaven in my earthly life by prayer. I get things from heaven in my earthly life by following God's holy standard, not human standards. My goal is to get the business God has for me in heaven in earth in 2023. My goal is to get the marriage that God has for me in heaven on earth in 2023. Is there anybody with me? Your plan for 2023 is to get the children that God has for you in heaven. It's time for us to start dealing with heavenly things. And I love that, because anything that's heavenly isn't going to hurt me. Anything that's heavenly, God says, I've called you not to be conformed to the world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, Romans 12:2. And then you will see God's good, pleasing, and perfect will. Is there anybody glad and willing to make some noise one last time for 2023? No, like you already in it. God says, I got some good for you. I got something pleasing for you. If that ain't enough, he said, I got something perfect for you. You don't got to worry if it's going to make you happy. God said, I got it because I've already prepared it. I know he going to make you happy. Just trust me to give him to you. You don't have to worry about if you're going to be fulfilled in your career. God already said it's going to be good. It's going to be pleasing. It's going to be perfect. You don't have to stress anymore. God said it's already prepared, and it's going to make you happy. It's going to satisfy all your needs according to my riches and glory. Is there anybody that's willing to get up on your feet and give God praise in advance? God, I'm thanking you for my good, pleasing, and perfect blessing in 2023. God, I'm thanking you for that blessing you've got prepared for me. God, I'm thanking you in advance for the grace and favor and mercy I'm going to be walking in. I'm thankful for what you've given me. I don't have it yet, but I'm praising you in advance. I'm praising you in advance. I'm thanking you today for the marriage I'm going to have tomorrow. I'm thanking you today for the bucks I'm going to have in my bank tomorrow. I'm thanking you today for the holy kids I'm going to have, even though they hellish now. I'm thanking you today. I'm thanking you today that my marriage is going to be better than it's ever been. I'm thanking you today that yet last night was my last day looking at anything all perverted, any pornography. I'm thanking you that last night was my last night high and drunk. I'm thanking you in advance. I'm dream catching. I'm dream catching. Oh, y'all need to say that with me. I'm dream catching. I'm not chasing anymore. I'm living in my dream. I'm dream catching. Yeah, this marriage, I'm dream catching. This money, yeah, this ministry, yeah, these kids, yeah, this business, yeah, this fear, yeah, this doubt, yeah, no more fear. No more doubt, no more depression, no more worry. 2023. We dream catching, family. We dream catching.
As we go into this last song, if you could just posture yourself in a place of worship. There should be people by the crosses, praying for you. The altar is open. Your seat's an altar. The corner's an altar. Your friend's an altar. If you need to cry, pray, shout, well, he's here for you, so.
This is the word of the Lord, your creator. I am the God who stood before the world was framed. I am the first, the last, and everything between. I hold your future, who could know these things but me? So don't fear, I will be your song. Sing, sing, oh barren land, water is coming to the thirsty. Though you are empty, I am the well, so draw from me, I will provide. I'm the well of living water, never empty, never run dry. Oh, this is the word of the Lord, your creator. I stand from age to age, ancient of days. I am the Holy One, the fairest of 10,000, and all who call upon my name shall be saved. So don't fear, I will be your song. Oh, sing, sing, oh barren land, me, I will provide. Sing, oh barren land. Water is coming to the thirsty. And though you are empty, I am the well. So draw from me, I will provide. Draw from me, I will. Draw from me, I will provide. 'Cause I'm the river in the desert, and I'm pouring my spirit on the broken, giving beauty for your ashes, joy for your sadness, heaven's open. 'Cause I'm the river in the desert, and I'm pouring my spirit on the broken, giving beauty for your ashes, joy for your sadness, heaven's open. 'Cause I'm the river in the desert, and I'm pouring my spirit on the broken, giving beauty for your ashes, joy for your sadness, heaven's open. 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 He's making ways in the wilderness. He's making rivers in the desert. He's making ways in the wilderness. He's making rivers in the desert. You are the way, you are the way in the wilderness. You are the river in the desert. You are the way, you are the way in the wilderness. You are the river in the desert. You're making waves in the wilderness. You are the river in the desert. You're making waves in the wilderness. You are the river in the desert. He's making waves in the wilderness. He's making rivers in the desert. He's making waves in the wilderness. He's making rivers in the desert. You are the way in the wilderness. No more dry ground.
You are the river in the desert.
No more dry ground.
You are the way in the wind.
No more dry ground. Heaven's open. 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 Sing, oh barren land. Water is coming to the thirsty. And though you are empty, I am the well. So draw from me, I will provide. Sing, oh barren land. Water is coming to the thirsty. Though you are empty, I am the well. So draw from me, I will provide. 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 So draw from me, I will. Draw from me, I will provide. So draw from me, I will. Draw from me, I will provide.
Hey, no more dry ground. Hear that? No
No more dry ground. Heaven's open. No more dry ground. Heaven's open. No more dry ground. Heaven's open.
No more dry ground.
Heaven's open.
Hey, y'all stay right there.
No more dry ground.
Somebody needs to grab hold of that. Wherever you weak, wherever you feel dry, go on and declare it. No more dry ground. Yeah, go on and declare it. No more dry marriages. No more dry bank accounts. No more dry mindsets. No more dry ministry. Yeah, no more dry fear. No more dry doubt. Hey, y'all better grab it. That's your opportunity. It inhabits the praises of his people. You better go on and grab it. No more dry ground. Let me hear my church. Let me hear my church. One last praise for 2023. Let me hear the church. No music. A cappella.
Sing, oh baby.
Water is.
It's coming. It's coming. Oh, I need it one more time. Draw from me. He's here. I don't know if you can feel his presence.
Sing, oh baby.
Come on, young people. This for you. You don't gotta be dry. You don't gotta.
So draw for me, I will. Draw for me, I will provide. Draw for me, I will. Draw for me, I will provide. Draw for me, I will. Draw for me, I will provide.
Father, we thank you that we don't have to have dry ground. That we don't have to go into the new year with the same old stuff. So we claim it in advance because it's through faith we please you. So we are placing our faith on everything dry and saying no more barren land. And water is coming to the thirsty. Though I am empty, you are the well. And we're going to draw from you. And you're going to provide this year. We thank you for being good, for being gracious, for being mighty, for being magnificent. Hallelujah. We thank you. In Jesus' name.
Goodness and mercy shall follow me all of my days. Goodness and mercy shall follow me all of my days, and I will dwell in your house, dwell in your house. Yes, I will dwell in your house. At your feet, Jesus. I will dwell. And I will dwell in your house. Everything I will dwell in your house. I will dwell in your house. And I will, and I will, and I will. I will dwell in your house. Dwell in your house. I will dwell in your house. Sing it with you, Jesus. I will dwell. And I will dwell in your house. Yes, I will. Dwell in your house. Stay right there. I will dwell in your house. Come on, church, lift your voice tonight and say, I will dwell, and I will dwell in your house. Let me hear him, Lamar. Dwell in your house. And I will dwell in your house. Come on, church, can you just lift a hand in the air and say, I will, and I will dwell
in your house.
See it, church, now.
Dwell in your house.
See it like you mean it.
Dwell in your house.
Oh, God, I just want to stay at your feet, and I will
Dwell in your house.
right there with you, Jesus.
Dwell in your house.
The most saturated place. Hey,
In your house.
I will, and I will dwell.
In your house.
I'll stay with you, Lord.
Dwell in your house.
You'll turn it around for me.
Dwell in your house.
Last time, last time, and I will dwell.
And I will dwell in your house. Dwell in your house. I will dwell in your house.
I will dwell. Dwell in your house. Say it, church.
Dwell in your house. I will dwell in your house.
I hope you are enjoying this dynamic worship service. This is the part of the worship service where we can partner with Chosen doing the work that we are doing in our community. That's right, we're asking for your support as we transform lives in our church and in our local community. We believe that God is using us in a mighty way, and we would love if you would consider partnering with us to bring purpose to the lives of the people in our local community and beyond. If you would like to give through text, the number is 404-994-5258. If you would like to give online securely, simply go to our website, and that is chosencsra.org. If you would like to give through cash or check, you can simply drop that off with one of our greeters at the door on your way out of the worship center. Again, we believe God is using us mightily, and we hope that you will help us do the work that God is calling us to do in our amazing community. Thank you in advance for your generosity, and enjoy the rest of our worship service.
Hallelujah. How many of y'all going to dwell in the house of the Lord? Listen, y'all, it's been a beautiful, beautiful 2022. Can y'all stand on your feet for me? Listen, it's been a beautiful 2022. We are headed into a new place, y'all, so I want y'all to just wave bye-bye. Say farewell, 2022. We're going to say farewell to 2022 tonight. Listen, I want to take about 60 seconds. If I could just take 60 seconds, do something with me. About 60 seconds. I need you to tell your neighbor, 2023 is going to be big. Come on, crank that up for me. Come on, tell somebody else, it's going to be big.
Listen, I don't know about you, but I'm excited.
Whatever you went through, it's over. Listen, 2022 is in the past. 2023 is going forward. It's going to be big,
Listen, I
y'all.
don't know about you, but I'm
That promotion's
excited
gonna be
about
big. Your new house is gonna be big. That new baby's gonna be big. That new spouse is gonna be big. Come on, tell somebody, it's gonna be big. Come on, take about 30 more seconds. Tell somebody else, walk around the room, somebody. Walk around and tell somebody in the building. Tell them, come on, get up out your seats. Come on and tell somebody else. Take about 20 more seconds. And tell them it's gonna be big.
I don't know about you, but I'm
2023 is gonna be the biggest year you've ever had in your life. I need you to believe it. I need you to receive it. Come on, y'all. We got about 6 more seconds.
shouting into my
4,
promise.
3, 2, 1. Can we give God some praise?
Listen, I don't know about you, but I'm excited about my future. Why? It's gonna be big.
I think that was an amazing service tonight, and if you agree, please come back next week with us. Can I please have, oh, well, everybody's standing. So on the count of 3, can we do our purpose blessing? 1, 2, 3. May the Lord bless you and protect you. May the Lord smile on you and be gracious to you. May the Lord show you his favor and give you his peace. And on the count of 3, give me your biggest and best, I am chosen. 1, 2, 3. I am chosen. Now go live the lifestyle.
It's gonna be